Today we have a very special quest from a couple of my friends that I actually know in real life, but today we're going to be predicting the 2026-2027 NFL season. We're going to go week by week. We're going to predict all the games up here that we have for the upcoming season, and we're going to see what I have, what upsets do I have, and let me tell you what, I'll let you guys right now. There's going to be many of upsets, and then we'll have playoff predictions, stuff like that. Well, I'm not going to do the playoffs, but I'm going to do like the seeding. You guys will see where everything slides and where it is week by week. So I think you guys kind of get the idea here. But anyway, guys, welcome in. If you guys haven't already, hit the like, hit that subscribe, and make sure you guys join that Discord. Follow me on Twitch as well. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you guys join our NFL, ESPN Fantasy. It is free to join. All you need is your email and password to get in. And if you guys have already, go check out our shop, which we'll go ahead and get into here in just a few moments here. But like I said, I appreciate all the support. Make sure you guys hit the like, hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys support the channel. Really do appreciate all the support. But without further ado, let's go and hop right into it and let's predict some NFL games for this next upcoming season. If you guys haven't checked out our shop yet, make sure to please do so. The link will be in my description. Also, you guys can check it out on our Discord. If you guys haven't joined that yet, make sure to please do so as well. And make sure you guys hit this redeem code up here on your final purchase or whatever deal that we're on. Right now, we're on 25% off the shop. That will change eventually, so make sure you guys go check that out. Get every 25% off all the store or whatever code that we're on, or whatever redemption that we're on there, and you guys can get some awesome stuff. We have shirts, we have t-shirts, we have aprons, we have long sleeve shirts, we have coffee mugs, we have pants, we have matching outfits, all that fun stuff. And you guys can get it in 3 different logos here. We have the Money Lord Tradition logo, we have the Money Lord Nation logo, and we have the Money Lord Sign logo all by itself. And we have everything available for you guys in all different platforms, all that stuff. Like I said, if you guys already hit my link in the description, check out our store. I really do appreciate y'all, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get things going here. Alrighty folks, like I said, if you guys haven't checked out our shop, make sure to please do so. Appreciate the support. We got some epic merch down there, so if you guys want to hop on, get some more indoor stuff in the middle of the shop, make sure to please do so. I really do appreciate y'all. But anyway, here, starting off with week 1, and listen, we have a hell of a slate for week 1 here. I think most of these games are kind of explanatory. I mean, like Jets, Tennessee. I mean, with the Titans there. I mean, the Titans. I mean, I'm pretty good about that one. I mean, they're at home. I mean, a couple of these are kind of nail biters. Like, especially the Bills in Houston. I ended up going Houston with this one because Houston's at home. Buffalo normally struggles. They struggled last year when they went to Houston, so I'm gonna trust Houston in that matchup there. Jacksonville, Cleveland with Jacksonville in there. I trust that team a little bit more. I'll take Baltimore over Indy because I don't know how healthy Indy's going to be. I'll take Vegas over Miami, but I think that one's going to be kind of like a slump fest game, kind of like a defensive game there. I'm going to take, right now, I'm going to take KC over Denver, but Patrick Mahomes has to be playing. If Patrick Mahomes isn't playing, then I'm switching my pick. I'm going Denver in that one. Seahawks, Patriots. I can see the Patriots absolutely getting revenge, but I'm just not going to go for it just yet. I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks get there. Pittsburgh, Atlanta. I think that'll be a good game as well. I'm going to take Pittsburgh in that one. Bucks against the Bengals. I'm going to go with the Bucks in this game. Something's telling me like Cincinnati is going to win this game, but I'm going to go with the Bucks just because I just feel like they start a little bit faster. Cincinnati's, I know they're at home, but we've seen many atonements in the past that they, that they kind of struggle at home while the Buccaneers have been starting out fast. So I'm going to go with the Buccaneers in that one. Chargers against the Cardinals. Chargers should be able to take care of the Cardinals. This game in Australia is going to be something. Niners and Rams. That's going to be a really good game in Australia. Can't wait for watch that one. I'm going to lean with the Rams, though, with their coaching, with the more team experience. I'm going to go with the Rams with that one. That would go either way, though. Bears and Panthers, especially being in Carolina, there's definitely a case that you can say that the Bears are more capable of beating the Panthers, but I'm going to go with the Bears in that one. Lions over Saints. Saints improve, but in Detroit, that's going to be a tough game for them, the first one. Same thing with the Packers. I mean, they improved throughout the years, but going into Minnesota, which I do think it should be a really good team this year, I think that's going to be a hard one for them. Commanders versus the Eagles. I gotta go with Philly to win this game. I know a lot of people are gonna, shake my head and say like, hey, Washington could make a statement on the road. I'm not going for that just yet. I think Philadelphia wins that one. And then Dallas versus the Giants. I'm going to go with the Giants, actually. I was thinking about taking Dallas. I was originally going to go with Dallas, but I'm going to go with the Giants right now for the moment. Alrighty, folks, on the week 2. I don't know if I said this already, but this video is going to be weeks 1 through 9. I'm going to have a second video coming up that we're going to do week 10 to 18 here. So make sure to stay tuned for that one. But on to week 2 here, I'm going to have Houston beating Cincinnati. It's in Houston. I know the Bengals can't start slow. They really can't, but something's telling me that they are. I think they're going to lose week 1 and going into Houston. Like I said, I kind of expect Houston to be one of the better teams in the AFC this year, so I'm going to treat them like one. I think they fall short there. Patriots against the Steelers. I think the Patriots are just a better team here. The Steelers could be a little bit more awkward as you think, but I think I think the Patriots are a better team. They should be able to win that one. Chargers against the Raiders. I think that's actually a tougher game than you would expect them. Like, I think the Raiders could be a lot better than what people think, but I'm not going to go for it just yet. I'll take the Chargers. Denver, Jacksonville. I think that's going to be a really good game as well, but I'm going to lean toward Denver in the altitude. This should be a tough one, though. Chiefs against the Colts. Like I said, I don't know how the Colts are going to be healthy, so I'm going to take Kansas City for right now. Bills and Lions. This is probably going to be the best game of week 2, to be honest with you. When we get into our pick show, you'll understand why, but I like the Bills in this one. At home, I think they'll get it done there. Eagles will beat Tennessee. I think the Eagles overrun them. I think they'll do it just enough to win it. Buccaneers over Browns, I'm comfortable with that. Packers over Jets, comfortable with that. Ravens over the Saints. I think this is another tough game for the Saints. You know, being on the road at Baltimore, you're probably playing against a fully healthy more Baltimore Ravens team. I'm gonna trust Baltimore on that one. Niners and Dolphins. That should be an ass beating. Ass beating at minimum. Bears and Vikings. It should be a close game. I'm kind of expecting them to go back and forth like last time they played Chicago. But I'm going to switch the outcome there. I do think the Bears should be able to win that one now. Falcons, Panthers, that's another toss-up. I'll just go home team in Atlanta. Seahawks, Cardinals, that's going to be a snap pounding. Seattle should win that one pretty easily. Dallas and Washington could go. I mean, I think Dallas is the more safer bet here, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Commanders kept that game close. And then Rams versus Giants, I think that's going to be also a hell of a game here. But that's Monday night in LA. I gotta go with the Rams. On to week 3 here. Like I said, another tough slate here. So first things first here, Chargers, Dolphins. Chiefs should be able to take care of that one. Same thing with here, Texans, Colts. I mean, the Texans should be able to get the job done there. Bills at Chargers. I think the Chargers can fight, but in Buffalo, it could be a tough place to play. They don't typically play well on the road. I'll go with the Bills there. Steelers against the Bengals, man. I think that this was a tough one because I think it could go either way. If it was in Cincinnati, I probably would have taken the Bengals, honestly, if it was in Cincinnati. But it's in Pittsburgh. I think going into Pittsburgh is not easy to plan. Sure, you can make an argument that Cincinnati is probably the better team in this equation, but it's on the road. It's in Pittsburgh. I'm going to give the side to the Steelers on that one. Patriots versus Jags. I think that one could go either way as a coin flip, but I'm going to leave the Patriots there. Giants versus Titans. That's another tough one, man. I think that one could go either way. I'm going to leave with the Giants being at home in that one. I think that will help. Carolina versus Cleveland. I do think Cleveland has a good defense, the same thing as Carolina, and I'm going to trust Carolina's offense just a little bit more. So I'll take the Panthers in that one. Lions versus Jets, snap pounding. That game's not going to be close one bit. Saints versus Raiders. I think it could go either way. I'm leaning towards home team, so I'll just went with the Saints there. Baltimore, Dallas. I think that's going to be like a shootout game. I'm going to trust the Ravens defense just a little bit more than I do in Dallas's right now. Rams and Broncos. I think it could also go either way. I think that's going to be a great game, but I'm actually going to predict against the Rams as well. I'm going to give Denver. I'm going to hand the Rams their first loss of the season. I think Denver gets us there. Packers versus the Falcons. I do think Green Bay should be able to take care of that one at home. Seattle versus Washington. That's going to be a snap pounding as well. Same thing here. Ass beating. San Francisco, Arizona. Ass beating there. This one I think could go either way here. Tampa Bay, Minnesota. I think that's going to be a really good game when these two teams match up here. But I'm going to give it to the home team in Tampa Bay in that one. And then Bears in Philadelphia. It kind of feels like Philadelphia's kind of fell into the Bears, and I think the Bears have been playing a little bit better. They've been playing a little bit better. It's in Chicago, so I'm gonna go. I'm really sticking with the Bears, and I'm gonna roll with that. I'm gonna take the Bears. On to week 4. Like I said, you guys can check over here and look at the standings. I know you guys can't see it for the rest of the AFC, but like I said, the playoffs only matter 1 through 7, so I'm pretty sure that's what everybody's gonna be looking at anyway. So kicking things off here with week 4, Browns and Steelers. I actually have an upset here. I do have Cleveland beating the Steelers here. I know the Steelers are, like I said, they're a much better team, but the game is being played in Cleveland, okay? And I think Cleveland had like the same defense as the Steelers got. And I know I don't really trust their offense, but I think at home they can do something a little bit about that offense. According to the Steelers, I mean I do expect to have a better offense, but it's not by a ton. So I'm gonna go with the Browns in that one. I'm feeling an upset there. Bengals versus Jags. I'm gonna go with the Bengals in that one. They should be able to get their first win this season against the Jags. The Jags are a good team. It's not gonna be easy either. I know that's kind of a rough start of the schedule for Cincinnati, but I'm gonna say they save the season with the first win here. Baltimore, Tennessee. Baltimore should be take care of that, especially if they're healthy. Buffalo, New England. Like I said, last time these two teams played in Buffalo, New England actually got the job done. I'm gonna go with the Bills though. I don't think that's gonna happen again. Chiefs versus Raiders. Same thing here. It was a different outcome. The Raiders won last time, but that was week 18. This is week. What is this? Week 4. Kansas City should be able to win that one. Bears against the Jets. I think that's no brainer. Texans versus Dallas, Battle of Texas. I think that's going to be a fun one there, but I'll lean the home team. I'll go Houston. Seattle Chargers. I think the Chargers are good, but I don't think they're as good as Seattle, so I'll take Seattle, especially on the road. That's going to be pretty tough for them. I'm going to go with San Francisco over Denver, and the only reason I am going to take them is because, I mean, really because they're at home, but I can absolutely see Denver winning that game. I think that's a toss-up. I think that should be one of the better games of the week there. Washington, Indy, like I said, I don't know how Indy's going to look. Washington's at home. They should be. I think they get their first win of the season here. Vikings at Dolphins. I would pick the Dolphins to get their first win of the season here, but nah, you're not. You're going into the bank, so it's kind of over. Giants versus Cardinals. I'll give this side to the Giants. They should be a little bit more healthier and they're the better team. Rams over the Eagles. I think the Rams should have beaten the Eagles the last 3 times they played them. I think the Rams have been way better than the Eagles. That's the recent years, and I think the Rams are ready to beat the Eagles. Bucks over. I'm gonna take the Bucks over Green Bay. It's in Tampa Bay. That's huge. Yeah, that should be a really good game. I'll go Tampa Bay there. Detroit over Carolina. I think Detroit has the much more fluid offense. It should be able to get past the Panthers, even though being Carolina could be a little tough. And I'll go with the Saints to beat the Falcons. I mean, it's at home. I think the Saints could be way better than what people think here, so I'll go with the Saints to win that one. Alrighty, now we got week 5, and week 5 is actually something here. Texans, Tennessee. Like I said, I think that's probably the most known rate of the week. I mean, Tennessee's at home, and I don't think it's gonna matter. Houston should be able to win that. I got Cleveland beating the Jets. I think the Cleveland Brown. I'm gonna trust their defense to make plays. I know that's gonna be a defensive game. I know it's in New York, but at the same time, I just don't trust Aaron Glenn as a coach. I think the Browns are gonna win that game because I think they have the more superior defense. I'm going to take the Browns in that one. Cincinnati should be able to keep things rolling in Miami. I have the Steelers beating the Colts. Like I said, it's kind of crazy for me to predict the Colts to start 0-5, but it's just reality. I just kind of see that happening. So I'm going to take the Steelers and win the home. I think the Patriots should be able to take care of business at home against the Raiders. I'll take the Broncos to go on the road and beat the Chargers. Like I said, I think the Chargers are good, but I just think that Denver defense is just going to maul them. And we already seen what that Charger offense can do when they're playing against good defenses. So I like Denver in that one. I'm going to take Philadelphia to beat Jacksonville. It's like I said, it's just kind of weird me predicting them to start 1-4, but it's just in reality, that's just what I see happening. So that's, yeah, I'm going to go Baltimore to beat Atlanta. I think Baltimore is just a much better team when they're healthy. I'm going to take the Rams to beat the Bills here on Monday Night Thriller. I think it's going to be one of like that shootout when they met a couple years ago. I think it'll be that same exact fashion, like the Rams winning at the end. I think that's going to be a fun one. I'm going to take Dallas to hand the Buccaneers their first loss this season. This is a tough team. I know I don't trust their defense. At the same time, I don't trust the Buccaneers defense. Both teams have superior offenses. It's in Dallas. I'll lean home team in that one. Vikings versus Saints could go either way. I think that's a coin flip, but I'm going to trust Minnesota with their what should be an explosive offense with Kyler Murray running at quarterback for them. I'm going to give the side to the Vikings in that one. Giants versus Commanders. I'm going to take Washington this one. This is definitely winnable for the Giants. Don't get me wrong, but it's in Washington. I think as long as they're healthy, I think they squeak by there. Seattle versus San Francisco could go either way, but I'm going to go with Seattle to win that one, especially at home. I think that's a big deal there. I'm gonna take the Lions to beat the Cardinals here. Like I said, I think that's a no-brainer. That's probably gonna be probably the ass beating of the week when we get to our pick show. And then I'm gonna pick the Packers to beat the Bears, and the Bears are first loss of the season. It's in Green Bay. Um, that would, I mean, the Bears could definitely win that. I mean, I think they did that last year when they went to Green Bay and won. And at the Packers, but I'm gonna go with the Bears to get their first loss of the season. Alrighty, we got week 6 here, which was a couple other games that I have a couple upsets in. I mean, not happening here. Patriots versus Jazz. There's just no fucking way that's happening. Patriots should be able to handle them. I got the Colts picking up the first win of the year against the Titans. I don't think the Titans are as good at them. The game is in Indy. Maybe the Colts get a little bit more healthier. They're at home. I'm gonna take the Colts to get their first win there. I'm going to take Baltimore to beat the Browns. Yeah, I know I did that for the Steelers, but at the same time, I think the Ravens right now, as constructed, are a much better team than what the Pittsburgh Steelers are right now. I don't think they'll fall for that trap. It could be a close game. I'll take the Ravens. Bills against the Raiders. Like I said, I think the Raiders are improving, but I think the Bills are already at Super Bowl favorites here, as it should be. They're just not on the same level as the Bills. I'll take the Bills there. I got the Jags picking up a big win over the Texans. I think didn't they get a win against Houston last year, which I'm pretty sure was at home. I do think with Houston being at home, they don't really play as good on the road they do at home. I like Jacksonville in that one. I'm gonna take the Chiefs to beat the Chargers. Like I said, it's at home. It's in Arrowhead. I think that's a tough one. I think the Chiefs will start 5-0 this year. I'll take Denver to hand Seattle the first loss of the season. Like I said, I know that Seattle actually lost a lot of key players this offseason. You know, you're going into Mile High on Thursday night. I don't think that's going to be easy, though. So I'm going to take Seattle with their first loss. And I think Tampa Bay beats Pittsburgh. But that's another game I can see going either way, a coin flip there. I'm going to go with the Giants to beat the Saints here at home. If the game is in New Orleans, I can easily see the Saints winning that. Eagles should be able to beat the Panthers. I mean, it would be tougher if this game was in Carolina. But since it's in Philadelphia, I would have much more confidence in me picking the Eagles to win that game. I'm gonna go with the upset here. I think the Falcons are gonna beat the Bears, to be completely honest with you. Atlanta does play teams more competitively. We've seen it last year when they upset the Rams. And just kind of feel like it will be one of those games. If the Bears were to sit down there and just lose to a bad team, it probably would be the Falcons, especially in Atlanta, where Atlanta upset a pretty good decent amount of teams last year in Atlanta. I'm feeling Atlanta there. The Rams picking up upsets. That's not happening. The Rams should be able to dog walk the Cardinals. I'm gonna go with Green Bay to get the win over Dallas here. I kind of feel like these two have been a rivalry as of late, especially at home in Green Bay. Michael Parsons' revenge game. I'm gonna go with the Packers in that one, and I'll take San Francisco over Washington because I just think San Francisco is just significantly better than Washington. I think they'll cause some problems there, so I'm gonna go with San Fran on Monday night. Next up we got is week 7 here, and like I said, I don't know why, but every single week just seems like a tough matchup here. Anyway, let's go ahead and tip things off at the top here. I think Tennessee will beat Cleveland here. It's in Tennessee. I'm just gonna give them the notch up there, but like I said, that's a coin flip. That game could go either direction there. I'm gonna take the Jets to get their first win of the season against Miami. I do think the Jets at home is probably like the difference maker for me there, but at the same time, the Dolphins are nowhere near as good either. It's two bad teams. That we'll just go ahead and give it to the home team there, and I'm pretty sure we'll do the same thing when we go to Miami with that one. I'm gonna go Baltimore to beat Cincinnati. It's in Baltimore. It's like kind of like that home field difference of Cincinnati. I probably would take them next time around, but I'm gonna take Baltimore in this one. I'm gonna take the Bears to beat the Patriots here in Chicago. I know the Patriots, but I just don't think the Patriots are going to be the same team as they were last year. And I just think that the game with being in Chicago with their offense moving, I'll go with Chicago in that one. I like the Vikings at home, but this game right here reminds me of the epic comeback that the Vikings had against the Colts in the playoffs. But no, I'm not going to go for it. I'm going to think the Vikings win that one. Give me the Texans to beat the Giants. I think the Giants improve, but I think the Texans defense will just manhandle them. Give me Denver, same thing here. Denver, they should be able to beat Arizona. I just don't think the Cardinals really have a shot in that one. Give me the Rams to beat the Raiders. Like I said, the Raiders are improving, but they're not on the same level as the Rams. Give me the Saints to beat the Steelers. I think that will could go either way. It's in New Orleans, and I do think the Saints are going to be one of the more improved teams. So I'm going to go with the Saints there. Give me the Seahawks to give the Chiefs their first loss of the season. It's in Seattle. That's going to be a tough one for them. Give me the Niners to beat the Falcons. I'm feeling pretty confident about that. I got the Panthers upsetting the Bucks here. Like I said, it's at home. Like I said, playing in Carolina, that's not easy. I don't think it's at home. I don't think it's easy to play in Carolina. Like I said, the Rams almost lost to the Panthers in Carolina just last year. So I'm gonna go Carolina. As a matter of fact, they did. They did in the regular season, but they did in the playoffs. I'm going to go with the Lions to beat the Packers here. It's in Detroit. I think they will edge them out. So I'm going to go with Detroit there, and I'm going to take Philadelphia in a rivalry game to beat Dallas. But like I said, I'm going to go either way. It's in Philadelphia, so we'll just give them the edge there. Alright, ladies and gents, we got 2 more weeks left of this video. Like I said, make sure you guys come back later on. We'll have our week 10 through 18 predictions. Let you guys know where our rest of our playoff seeding is here. So starting off with week 8, Cincinnati over Tennessee at home. That should be able to happen there. I got the Raiders beating the Jets. I'm just gonna trust the Raiders as a team a lot more. I know Geno Smith's revenge game, but I don't think there's a revenge game we're playing for the Jets. So I'm gonna take the Raiders in that one. I'm gonna take the Steelers to get the Browns back. I did pick that to go in Cleveland with them, but I just don't think that the Steelers will ever get swept by the Browns. So I'll take the Steelers. Jags over Colts. I think that'll be a big game for the Jags to win. It's at home. I think Jacksonville's a better team this year. I'll take Jacksonville. I have Buffalo handing the Ravens their first loss of the season. This is in Buffalo. I'm not saying that the Ravens can't win this game because they definitely can with the roster that they have. But going into Buffalo at home, I think that's a difference maker for me there. Who's at home? If it was in Baltimore, I definitely would take it though. Give me Denver to hand Kansas City a loss. Like I said, I think Denver is still a hell of a team. I think they still have a hell of a defense. And I think they're going to struggle Patrick Mahomes a little bit, especially in Denver in the altitude. I'll go Denver there. And I think the Patriots should be able to take care of the Dolphins there. Battle of LA, Chargers and Rams. I think that'll be a good game here, but I'm going to trust the Rams. I think they're the better LA team. Packers versus Carolina. I'm going to go with the Packers there, but something's telling me Carolina's going to win or keep that game a little close. I can see it, but if it was in Carolina, I probably would actually take the Panthers, but no, it's in the Green Bay. I'll take the Packers. Dallas should be able to kick Arizona's ass. I'll take the Lions to beat the Vikings. I do think that'll be a tough one. It's in Detroit. If it was in Minnesota, I probably would be going the other way, but I'll go Detroit. Give me the Buccaneers to beat the Falcons, especially at home. I think that'll help. Give me the Eagles to beat Washington, and then last but not least, I will take the Seahawks to beat the Bears. But that's gonna be a hell of a game. That's Monday night in Seattle. That's gonna be a hell of fun. But I like the Seahawks in this one. Alright, ladies and gents, and now we are finally at week 9 here. Like I said, we will be back tomorrow with our week 10 through 18 picks. Anyway, here, start closing things off here. We have Baltimore beating Jacksonville here. It's in Baltimore. I'm going to give this odds here. If it was in Jacksonville, I probably would have taken Jacksonville, to be honest with you. I mean, the Chiefs should be able to destroy the Jets, even with or without Patrick Mahomes. They should still be able to destroy them. I'm gonna take the Chargers to beat the Texans here. Like I said, I know last year we were in this position, and the Texans did pull out a win and then won dominantly. Sure, they have the defense, but I think the Chargers are going to be a little bit better than they were last year in this position. I think the Chargers at home will help them in this matchup, so I'm going to go with the Chargers in this one. I'm going to take the Saints to beat the Browns here. I mean, at home, like I said, that especially helps, but you got to go through Cleveland's tough defense, but I think the Saints just have just enough offensive talent. I've seen that a little bit at the end of last year, just to barely get away with a game like this. So I'm going to go with the Saints to go ahead and get rid of that one here. I'm going to take Dallas to beat the Colts. I just don't think the Colts have enough firepower to get with Dallas's offense. Detroit should be able to manhandle Miami. Like I said, Denver in Carolina. I think that one could actually be really tough for Denver, to be honest with you, because in Carolina games are never easy, but at home Carolina's a little tricky. But I'll go with Denver to win that one. Niners against Raiders. San Francisco's probably gonna win that one. Cincinnati against Atlanta. It's another one I can see going either way. It's a tricky game. I'm gonna trust Cincinnati's offense just to be a little bit more consistent. I'm gonna take the Patriots at home. They get a win over the Packers, but that one's gonna be a close game. It's gonna be a greedy game. I'm like the game going board. Either two pretty good football teams going at it. It's in Minnesota. I'm gonna give it a size to the Vikings there. On Monday night, I'm going to take the Rams to beat Washington. I think the Rams are on a different level than Washington is. I'm going to take the Eagles to beat the Giants, especially at home. You know, I got to take them there. I'll take the Seattle Seahawks to dethrone the Cardinals. And then I'm going to take the Bears to beat the Vikings in another very close dual battle. I think the Wolves will go either way about going with the Vikings. I'll go with the Bears to get the win there in Chicago. Like I said, if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys hit the like and that subscribe button. We do appreciate the support. Make sure you hit the like and that subscribe button. Anyway, guys, we will be back here tomorrow for weeks 10 through 18. So make sure to stay tuned for that. Wait, we're here. I'm gonna hop out to this. So you guys can watch on time. Let me guys know in the comments below what you guys would change and what do you guys think the schedule is going to be this year, or what do you guys or the schedule outcome you think it's going to be this year. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. This is BabyNation.com. Peace out, stay safe, and as always, I'll see you good people in the next one.